Hey everybody, I have a couple of announcements before we get started. First, I've been on a podcast tour. I've interviewed with a few podcasts and I'd like to share one with you today. The episode actually just dropped a couple days ago, so I hope that you go check that out. The name of the podcast is Today With Dallin Candland. Dallin is on a personal journey to inspire as many people as he can through conversation. You're not going to want to miss these conversations. Yeah, so go check out Yield Today, episode 59. That's my episode. But also listen to the other episodes because there are great speakers and lots of great content there. And now my second announcement. On December 5th, I am going to be giving a free live training. That's right, a free live training. The topic is Listening is Leading. In this live training, I'm going to expose some of the misconceptions about empathy. I'm going to show you how powerful it is when it comes to leadership. So you don't want to miss that. It's December 5th at 9 o'clock. That's Central Time. December 5th at 9 o'clock. I will leave a link in the show notes, of course. You can link to that website and sign up. It's absolutely free. And this is something that is sponsored by Toastmasters. I want to make a note that while I'm speaking at a Toastmasters event, Toastmasters is not officially sponsoring my podcast. I'm just letting you know that there's some great content out there and you can get it for free. All right, now to the show. Welcome. My name is Lee Hopkins. My pronouns are he, him, his, and you are listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to helping you replace harmful patterns with new possibilities. In each episode, we explore topics that inspire confidence, direction, and resilience. In this week's episode, we're going to be talking about resentment. Dun, dun, dun. Have you ever been in a situation in which you just were so mad at someone because they didn't do something that you would have done for them, that you're resentful? Well, we're going to talk about that. We're going to find out what causes that resentment, how you can get over it, and how you can prevent it from coming back in the future. Are you ready? Let's go. Resentment is a feeling of displeasure or persistent ill will at something that seems to be unjust or regarded as wrong. If you don't address it right away, it starts piling up just like dirt under a rug. And the resentment grows so strong that eventually you have a bump in the rug that you trip over. All the things that you let go, that you didn't voice, that you let slide, built up in your mind, counting tallies, you're taking score, and it slowly builds up until it explodes, especially around this time of year. All the resentment and the issues that you may have with your extended family members that you tuck away for a few days a year so that you can get through some holiday dinner or some holiday party, they just come out. They come out at this time, and you want to be careful not to have them come out, explode, and ruin the entire situation. But eventually that happens. But it doesn't have to be explosive. Expressing your feelings does not have to be an explosive disaster where you're throwing wine at each other, you're swearing, you're ruining the dinner, someone's throwing plates. You don't need to get that far. If you have resentment build up towards your family members or anyone for that matter, if you have years and years of that stuff, it's going to take a while. It's going to take some effort to slow down all the pressure that's built up so it doesn't come out in an explosion. You have to take some time to release the pressure on the valve slowly before it explodes. So here's the thing. Being filled with resentment is dangerous. It's absolutely dangerous because it is unchecked anger, maybe years of unchecked anger, pressurized, just waiting to explode. And you don't know what your release trigger is. It could be something that is really small, a hairpin trigger, and you have a big reaction. Or you might go outside of your family and take all your frustrations out on society in some way. Dealing with resentment before it starts is the key. A few years ago, I called myself being supportive in one of my relationships. I was doing everything I could to make my partner comfortable. Anyway, I did what they asked me to do, which was just hang out with them. I would stay up late at night with them, even though I had to get up early in the morning. And one week, I had stayed up every single night, and I had to get up early in the morning. So Monday, I was up till midnight and had to get up at 5. And I did that every night of the week until it became Friday. And Friday, I was exhausted because you can imagine just having 5 hours of sleep is tiresome. So on Friday, when I got home from work, I was fully expecting to take a nap and then hang out later. But no, I was approached by my partner and they asked me to go on a long errand with them. So they wanted me to drive a distance with them. And me, I was like, well, I'm exhausted. I didn't say no. I drive for almost 2 hours. I don't get home until midnight. I'm cranky. I'm tired. I'm angry and resentful. All I want to do is go to sleep. How could this person not realize that all I wanted to do was sleep? I went to bed. But I was full of resentment, and I didn't express that I was upset about that either. Because I didn't open my mouth to say anything about how I feel, the next time they said something to me completely unrelated, it just pissed me off. I had to bring everything, all the things that I didn't say, I had to get all my baggage, get as much as I can so I can throw it at them the next time they open their mouth. I did this for you, I did that for you, and you don't appreciate me. You don't care that I spent all this time and effort doing whatever you wanted. You don't care that I didn't go to sleep. You just care about yourself. You're so mean, and I don't want to be with you. I don't like you. But then, after all that settles, like, oh, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean it. So I pick up all that resentment and put it back in the bag, and I keep it for later. I release some of the pressure, but it's still there. What we want to do is stop building up that pressure. The way to stop building up that resentment is to set clear boundaries. You are in control of who you are and what you do. There's no one out there that can make you do a thing. The reason why you do anything is to benefit you. If you look at my resentment, I was staying up late. I was hanging out with this person because I wanted to make them happy. I didn't care about myself. I'm the only one responsible for my actions. So I stayed up late. And I also worked extra hard, and I was cranky and resentful. That was all me. I did those things. And they would not have gotten to that point had I just said, hey, I don't want to do this, or I've got to go to sleep. Set clear boundaries about what I want. Because at the end of the day, when this resentment builds up, it does nothing for you. Whatever you're trying to avoid by not setting that boundary, you're going to get it back 10 times worse because this emotional energy is going to build up in you. So if you don't want to do something, you have to be able to say that. I know it's scary. Their feelings, they're going to get mad at you. But imagine what it's going to be like a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years, 5 years. Because all that resentment has built up. If you're continuously not setting boundaries, then you're getting more and more resentful. No one can read your mind. It's your responsibility to share exactly how you feel. It's your responsibility to share your wants, to share your hopes, your dreams, your desires. It's your responsibility to communicate that in some way. If you want whoever is around you to behave in a different way, you have to express to them that you want that behavior. I know it's intimidating to try and express what you're feeling, especially if the person that you have to communicate this to is hostile. Or if they're crying, they're showing some kind of emotion that you just want to stop. They're crying. You say, yes, I'll do it, whatever, because I want you to stop crying. I want to help you. I want to be there for you. Go ahead and say those things and do those things if you really want them to stop crying. If you really want to satiate that anger, then if that's your goal, you are successful. Acknowledge that that was the price you paid for the outcome. Take responsibility for that action. If you truly wanted to make them stop crying and they said doing XYZ is going to stop them from crying, and you go and do XYZ, you were successful in your mission. Do not expect anything in return for what you do, because everything you do benefits you. You do it for yourself. Keeping that concept in mind will help you not be resentful. You have the right to say no. You have the right to say yes. You absolutely need to set clear boundaries. If you're one of those people who loves to help, make sure that you're helping people for the sake of yourself feeling good. Make sure that it's not about you investing in them. Like investing all of your good deeds, hoping that one day when you need help, you won't have to ask them. They will be there for you. They'll drop everything like you drop everything for them. Because it may not happen. Everything that you are doing is for you. It builds up your self-esteem. You want to help those people because you feel like it. Be careful. Sometimes people will just take advantage of that. They'll take everything. They're fine with it. And you would be fine with it too if all you wanted to do was help them. If you expect anything in return, that's when you build resentment. Before you say yes to doing something that you really don't want to do, before you say yes to that, think about the outcome. You have to understand what is the best course of action for you. What are you getting out of it? If you're doing this for the satisfaction of doing the deed, if it makes you feel good and you expect nothing else from this other person, then hooray. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and execute. But if you're doing this to make sure that they appreciate you, that they respond to you in some way that you like, don't do it. Say no. And when you say no, you don't have to give a justification. You never have to justify yourself to people. Unless you're in the court of law, then you have to go and justify. But you don't have to justify. You don't owe anyone an explanation for what you do with yourself, your body, your thoughts, your mind. You have no reason to explain anything to anyone else. If you want to explain something to them, then you do it. But you don't have to. Hello, my name's Lee Hopkins. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I'm a recovering nice guy. I used to go out of my way to help my family. I'd say yes when I really meant no, and I tried to spare my friends' feelings by saying nice things all of the time. I thought that I was strengthening my relationships with them, but little did I know, I was ruining them. If this sounds like you might want to stop what you're doing right now. Go to my website at patternsofpossibility.com and pick up your guide of 4 ways your good intentions are ruining your relationships and what you can do about it. You know that your intention is pure. You want the best for your friends. You want the best for your family, and that's all you're trying to do. But the impact is what matters. And being too nice often leads to reluctance and resentment on both sides. That's the exact opposite of what you want. You're cheating yourself out of the closeness and connection that you want and deserve. To find out what you can do about it, go head over to my website at patternsofpossibility.com to pick up your copy today. To release some of that pressure of resentment, we have to deal with it one by one. That means if you have a ton of things, a ton of issues, you need to only address one of those things at a time. So when we're talking about resentment, we're talking about feelings. We want to make sure that we start from zero. That means you don't want to start talking about things you're resentful about when you're in a fight already. You don't want to talk about it when someone is upset or they're crying or if they're angry about something that's completely different from what you're talking about. Nope, still a bad time. You don't want to talk to someone who's extremely happy either. You want to take it to a neutral level because you don't want the intensity of the emotion to take over. What's wrong with being happy when you're talking about something that's angering or something that's upsetting? Well, it's the fact that it's a strong emotion. That means your message may not completely, totally get through to them. So if you're feeling sad, they may just brush it off. If you're feeling angry, they may just brush it off because they're so happy. They may not hear you. And that's the point of you telling them in the first place. So step one, make sure that you're on an even, neutral, emotional level, both you and the person. You want to make sure to prime the person before you start talking to them about your feelings or your resentment towards them. I want you to verify that they're okay talking about your issue at the moment. The first thing that comes out of your mouth when you're talking to them about this is not going to be a question. You're not going to say, hey, do you have a moment? Is it okay to talk about something serious? No. Nope. Don't do that. Not only is it a setup, but you also give them an out. They can just say no. Hey, no, I don't want to talk about it. Bye. What you want to do is make a statement. Sidestep that setup. The way to release the pressure on your resentment is to pick one thing that comes up often. One thing that you see permeating your relationship with whoever you have the issue with. Figure out exactly how you feel about that thing. So you take that feeling and you figure out, well, why am I feeling that way? Ask yourself, what do I want them to do for me that they're not doing? And then pause right there. Think about it. Did you ever ask them to do that for you? Or did you leave them to guess? If you didn't clearly express what you wanted them to do, there is no way that they would understand how to please you. There is no way. It's unfair for you to be angry at someone who's not doing what you want them to do because they don't know what you want them to do. You'll cause your own resentment. Take responsibility for your role in this play. Now that you know what you're upset about, why you're upset about it, the next thing that you're going to do to release that pressure is to talk to them about what you want them to do and negotiate from there. If it's a simple request and they're not willing to do it for you, find out why. That is worth investigating because things like that will appear over and over in this relationship with them, especially if you don't set any boundaries. Start getting curious. What's going on with them that they don't want to do something that's important to you? Now that we're clear on the steps of how to relieve this built up tension, this resentment that's pressurized, step one is to pick one thing that you're resentful about. Step two, figure out why you're resentful about that. Step three, take responsibility for your part in this play and explain to them how you did not communicate what you wanted. Then negotiate what you want. If I were to take this skill set and apply it to my relationship and try to release the tension from staying up really late at night and getting up really early in the morning, if I were to apply it to that relationship, the conversation would go something like this. I would like to talk to you about something that's important to me, and I need your full attention. Okay. I've been feeling really resentful because I've been staying up way too late. I know I haven't been clear about this before, but I'd like to be in bed by 10 o'clock, especially on the weeknights. That means don't ask me to stay up or hang out after 10 o'clock, especially on the weeknights. If you ask me to stay up later than 10 o'clock, I'm going to tell you no. Notice how I didn't ask any questions. I didn't ask any questions because I'm not asking for permission. Whatever fear that you might have about setting a boundary, however you might feel about their reaction to it, if that relationship is important to you, then make sure to set a clear boundary. It's not just for them, but it's for you as well. You need to be able to get your needs met, and if you don't make them clear, they're not going to be met, and you will be miserable and you'll be resentful. Remember that the boundaries you set today will save you the resentment tomorrow. My name is Lee Hopkins. My pronouns are he, him, his, and you have been listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast. Thanks for listening. I hope that you have a great holiday. I'll see you in 2 weeks.